Sometimes the scariest things don't happen in dark alleys or haunted houses. They happen on the screen in front of you. The internet is a strange place where people hide behind fake names, fake pictures, and fake lives. And sometimes those lies turn deadly. Tonight, I'll be sharing with you a few terrifying true stories of creepy and dangerous encounters that all started online. One of the most popular social media platforms is also one of the most toxic. With its focus on short-form content, it has become a breeding ground for misinformation, hate speech, and most of all, catfishing, the act of creating a fake online persona to lure unsuspecting victims into a relationship. But on this platform, it's taken to a whole new level. These catfishers are not just looking for attention or a little bit of fun. No. They're after something much more sinister. In tonight's episode, we meet a woman who fell in love with a mysterious online persona only to find out that he was not who he pretended to be. And when she tried to expose his lies, she became the target of his obsession. You won't want to miss this or any of our other terrifying tailies, so make sure to follow for more updates. Welcome to my channel. Today's creepypasta was submitted by Maddie G, the chatroom stranger. Back in the early 2000s, online chat rooms were all the rage. They were basically a social media website with forums, quizzes, and chat rooms where you could talk to random people. There were tons of them. Some of the more popular ones were Club Penguin, which was a chat room disguised as an online game, or websites like Zonga and LiveJournal where you could post diary entries for your friends to read. I was around 13 years old and a huge dork. I spent most of my time playing video games and writing stories on these websites. One day, I decided to try out a new chat room. I created an account and entered the first chat room I saw. It was called Teen Chat. Naturally, I thought it would just be full of other teenagers. I started typing, hoping that someone would respond. Within a few seconds, I got a message. "Hey there," it said. "What's your name?" I told him mine, and he told me his name was Ben. We started talking about random stuff like school and video games. It was pretty boring at first, but then we started joking around like two people who knew each other in real life. He even told me which school he went to, and it was actually the same school that my brother went to. I had even seen him around. It seemed like he was a couple years older than me, but he acted like he was just a year older, like 15 or 16. We talked almost every day after that. He was really funny and smart, and I started to develop feelings for him. I know, that sounds crazy. I was just some random 13-year-old girl, and I was talking to this guy who I thought was 15. I mean, technically he was a minor, but still, a few months passed, and we started making plans to meet up in person. I was really nervous, but I finally agreed. We decided to meet at a park near my house. He said that he would wear a blue hoodie so that I would recognize him. On the day we were supposed to meet, I put on my favorite dress and went to the park with my best friend. I was so excited to finally meet my internet boyfriend, but when I saw him sitting on a bench, I was shocked. He wasn't wearing a blue hoodie. He was wearing a black one. Not only that, but he was significantly older, like 40-ish, and he wasn't even sitting on a bench. He was sitting on the ground like a homeless person. I was so scared that I ran away without saying anything. My friend was freaking out because she thought that he might chase after me, but he didn't. I looked over my shoulder and saw him take something out of his backpack, unfold it, and start eating. Whatever it was, it didn't look like food. I started to walk away, but then he called out to me, "Hey, want to come over and see my collection?" I didn't know what he meant, but I was too scared to ask. I just kept walking. That was the last time that I ever saw him. I didn't tell anyone what had happened until years later, when I found out that the police had been looking for a man matching his description in connection with a series of assaults. Apparently, he would go into chat rooms and try to lure young girls into meeting him. He even had a website with pictures of anime girls that he had taken off of Google Images. The police found him thanks to one of the girls he had assaulted. They also found a bunch of knives and other weapons in his apartment. He was sent to jail, but I still have nightmares about what he would have done to me if I had gone with him that day. Thanks for listening. If you like this story, please hit the like button and leave a comment. I'll see you next time. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be reading from the Are Just No Mail subreddit. So let's jump into it. The stolen photos. I was a young college student and I was pretty active on Instagram. I had just reached a milestone with my account, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. You know, all the likes and comments made me feel good about myself. It made me feel like I had some sort of online presence and that people liked me. Then one day I noticed that there were photos of me all over Instagram. I looked everywhere. I checked every single hashtag that I could think of that would have my name or username in it. I even went as far as to search my name. The account that was posting these photos wasn't following me, and it wasn't following anyone. It had no profile picture and the bio said private. All of its posts were of me. At first I thought maybe it was just some sort of fan page, so I didn't think much of it. I mean, I get that some people just want to make fan pages for their favorite influencers, but then the account started posting pictures of me that I had never uploaded. Then I started to get really creeped out. One of them was a photo of me sitting at my desk. The photo was taken from inside my apartment. I live alone. How did this person get a picture of me in my apartment? Was someone stalking me? Was someone breaking into my apartment when I was out? I tried to ignore it, but it just got worse. I started getting messages from people telling me that they saw a picture of my car in a parking lot. They asked if I was still living at my parents' house because that's where they saw the picture. I told them that I did unpost that picture, and I definitely did unpost any other pictures of my car. I told them that whoever posted it must have just been stalking me. That's the only way that they could have gotten a picture of my car. This person kept posting pictures of me, but they weren't even trying to hide what they were doing. If they had just deleted the original photo and reposted it, maybe I wouldn't have noticed. But they were just blatantly reposting my photos and adding a new one every few days. It was so annoying, and I just wanted it to stop. I blocked the account, and I even blocked my name and my username, but they kept making new accounts and using those to repost my pictures. I tried talking to Instagram about it, but they never responded to me. I even talked to the police about it, but they told me that there was nothing that they could do unless I could provide them with a person, SIP, address, or some kind of identifying information, which I couldn't. It has been almost a year since this started happening. And I still do. You want to know who it was? I haven't seen any of those accounts post anything new in months. I can't even find them on Instagram anymore. I hope that whatever it was has stopped, but I'll never know. To this day, I still don't know who was taking those photos. Was it someone that I knew? Was it a random stranger? Was it someone that I had met online? I'll never know! So, Reddit, what do you think? Who do you think took these photos? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you like this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to hear more stories like this one, then you can check out my podcast. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you in the next Reddit story. The Gamer Who Vanished. It was 2013, and an unknown 16-year-old boy was completely absorbed in the online multiplayer game Toontown Rewritten. One day while playing, he met a group of other players who invited him into a private voice chat. The game was more fun with friends. So, the next time he logged in, he joined their group. There were about 5 other people there, all around his age. They started playing games together every day, and eventually they convinced him to tell them his name, which they all cheered for. But then they started asking more invasive questions. They wanted to know what school he went to, what city he lived in, even what street he lived on. At first, the boy refused, but the more time he spent with these people, the more he opened up. Before he knew it, he had given them his home address. But something about this all felt wrong to the boy's gut. He tried to shake it off, but one night, he couldn't sleep. He kept replaying everything these strangers told him in his head, wondering if they would come over and pay him a surprise visit, or maybe even worse. He tossed and turned in bed until 4 a.m. when he finally decided he could untake it anymore. He got out of bed and walked to his computer. He deleted the Toontown app and all its files from his computer, then he logged off and went back to sleep. When his mom came to wake him up at 7 a.m., she found that he wasn't in his bed. She called out for him and checked all the rooms, but he was nowhere to be found. She checked his phone and found that he had been messaging one of his new friends from the game all the night before. The messages made no sense. They talked about pizza toppings and homework. But the friend never once asked where the boy was, or why he had UNT come to school that day. It was strange. Then his mom noticed that his gaming headset was missing. She looked for it for a moment, and then saw that there was a note attached to the side of his pillow that read, "I'm sorry. I won't be able to make it to school today. I have a really bad headache. Don't worry about me. That wasn't like her son at all. He would never miss school unless he was absolutely sick. And headaches were nothing new to him. He suffered from migraines and sometimes had to leave early from school. But those days, he always wore his gaming headset. So his teachers wouldn't get mad at him for being silent. So why would he leave for school with a headache, but without his headset? His mom didn't wait to find out. She called the police and reported her son missing. As the hours passed, more and more people began sharing their condolences with the family. They didn't know it, but they were talking to the very people who had taken their son away. On the day he went missing. The boy's friends from Toontown had sent out a mass message to everyone on their friend list, begging them to check their streets for the missing boy. When their message got out, more and more people began searching. One girl even went as far as hacking into the school S server to change the boy S attendance to absent for the day. But still, no one had any answers. That was until 3 weeks later when someone from the school finally got in contact with the police. They had found a picture of the boy on one of their classmates' phones. In the photo, the boy was standing in front of a Taco Bell. The police used security footage to track down which Taco Bell it was and found the boy's abandoned phone in the parking lot. But there was no sign of the boy anywhere. They searched everywhere but couldn't find him. Then they got a call from one of the classmates who had the picture on his phone. He explained how he and the other kids from the game had found the boy wandering by himself on the side of the road. They had asked him if he was okay, and he had said yes. Then he took a picture of him and sent it to everyone on their friend list. Afterwards, he had walked off, and they had never seen him again. The police thanked the kid for his help and hung up the phone. They had a lot of questions for the boy, but unfortunately, he wasn't there to answer any of them. As the investigation continued, the police uncovered that the boy had been taken to a hotel by his new friends after they found him. They gave his things to the front desk clerk and told her that they would be back for them later. But they never returned. The police had finally found a lead in the case. But where in the world were these mysterious gamers now? To be continued. Have you ever met a stranger online? Let me know your story in the comments below. And if you want to hear another scary story, then check out the playlist right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we'll be reading creepypasta from our Let's Not Meet. So let's get into it. The dark web package. I was casually browsing the internet looking for interesting forums when I came across one titled, What You Can Buy on the Dark Web. Being the curious person that I am, I clicked the link in the ops post and found myself on an inconspicuous website. They had everything from drugs to stolen credit card info to weapons. There was even a forum where you could chat with other people about whatever you wanted. Since nothing on this site looked like what I expected, like drugs or weapons or anything illegal, really, I decided to order the cheapest thing I could find, which ended up being an anonymous mystery box. All I had to do was put in my shipping address and wait. A week later, a small, unassuming cardboard box arrived in the mail. It was sealed shut with black tape and didn't have any return address or labels. Only the weight of the box listed on the side. As I peeled off the tape, I couldn't help but wonder what the hell I had just gotten myself into. Inside the box was another, smaller box. And when I opened it, I found a key, some old screws, and a USB stick. The USB stick contained several pictures of my home. At first, I thought they were just stock photos. You know, the kind you can buy online. But then I realized that these photos must have been taken at night. In fact, one of them was taken at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Every photo was taken from the same angle, just at different times of the night. But what really freaked me out was that someone had obviously been sitting on my porch to take these pictures. My front door doesn't have a peephole. And I never open the door if I am not expecting a delivery. So how did whoever was outside my door manage to snap these pictures without me knowing? Were they trying to case my house? Was this some sick game? Did I just get myself and my family on a potential target list? As if that wasn't unsettling enough, there was a piece of paper in the box with the only word next written on it. It seems like whoever sent this wants me to open my door when I hear a knock next time. But why? What are they planning to do? Why me? I live in a decent neighborhood and we don't have any problems around here. The only thing I could think of is that this whole thing might be a coincidence. Maybe someone who lives on my street was the one who bought the box, and they just happened to put my address in accidentally. Well, that Or the fact that I get Amazon packages almost every day. My doorbell camera would have caught whoever was on my porch, but it only records when the doorbell is pressed. Otherwise, it just takes a picture and saves it to the app. That FYI didn't know about the pictures until I went to check the footage that morning. So here's what I'm thinking. Should I answer the door? Yeah, maybe I should. Just to see what happens. But I don't want to put myself and my family in danger. On the other hand, I don't want to seem like I'm scared of some rondo on the internet either. Is it wrong of me to be paranoid? Am I overreacting? I don't know what to do. So I figured I'd ask you guys. What should I do? Answer the door or not? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you liked it, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. I make content like this every single day. So, if this is the kind of stuff you enjoy, you're sure to find something new to watch. Also, don't forget to join our server to suggest video ideas and more. See you next time. The internet is a powerful tool, but it's also one of the scariest places in the world. Behind every profile picture, every chat, and every email is someone whose intentions you can't truly know. These stories are proof that sometimes the monsters don't hide under your bed. They hide online. This is a true story. A man was talking to what he thought was a 17-year-old girl. They met on a social media platform and he was immediately smitten. But as the relationship progressed, he started to notice red flags. She would ask him for money. She would get angry at him for not responding right away. And she would constantly berate him for not being a good boyfriend. He eventually broke up with her and moved on. But these stories don't always have happy endings. Sometimes the person you're talking to isn't who they say they are. And sometimes the monster under your bed is real. That's why it's important to be careful online. You never know who you're talking to.